Hi everybody, my name's Nairi. Welcome back to my channel. If you found me before, if you haven't found me before, then I'm a trigeminal neuralgia sufferer, and the whole thing started in January. And if you look back on my channel, you will see a number of videos sort of charting what's happened to me. And so every now and again I do updates. It's been about 3 weeks since I've done an update, so I thought it's important to keep you in the loop as to how I'm getting on. So the last video that I recorded, I talked about the fact that I'd reduced my medication down to 2 tablets rather than 3. So I'm on 2 times 200 grams of carbamazepine, and that so far is going fine. Although what I will say is I still get random days when all of a sudden I get a flare up and I have no idea why and no idea where that comes from. So that still happens to me, and if I look really carefully, it will be probably because I've done more, but that it won't always be obvious to me. So if you find the same situation, then we're in the same boat, as it were. Another thing that happened to me recently is a filling dropped out on this side, which is the side that I get all the pain, and so I panicked tremendously about that because I knew I was going to have to go and have some treatment done on that side of my face. But thankfully the dentist just popped the filling back in, didn't drill. She didn't want to touch that area of my face, and she said to me all along that she wants to do minimum work on my teeth and just keep it kind of low key so that she doesn't trigger my symptoms. So I'm really lucky with my dentist. Still waiting for a neurology appointment, that's still to come through. And I've had a couple of scares. I've had a couple of kind of health scares which I thought were around the tablets. So I suddenly got these nosebleeds out of nowhere, and I was really worried about that, because on carbamazepine it says about, you know, if these things happen to you, you need to worry. So I went to the doctors and I had the full bloods taken for everything. Bone marrow, liver, kidneys, you name it, it was taken, and that came back fine, and I think it came back better than it did previously. And also had my blood pressure checked, which was high when I went, but then now I've recorded it at home, it's fine. So I'm just waiting for the neurology, and I'm waiting to hear what my long-term treatment's going to be, whether it's going to carry on just on medication or what's going to happen. But I think I'm in an okay place. It's never good, but I think it's an okay place. Yes, I think I'm as good as I'm going to be at the moment. I feel like the whole condition has stabilised, and what that's meant for me is I've been able to maybe partake in family things a little bit more than I did before. So I won't say no to everything, whereas in the beginning it's like, no, I can't go anywhere too far away from home. I can't travel more than like 10 minutes away from home in case I get a flare up. You know, it was a very real fear, because in the early days the pain wasn't under control, so I didn't feel that I could go too far away from home. And I still panic, like if we've got something different or new to do, I still panic that I'm not going to be able to do it, and sometimes I will say no. But I have managed to go and watch the boys play football, which is a few hours out of the house, although one of the nosebleeds happened, believe it or not, while I was watching the football, but there you go. And I've been able to be a bit more confident about going out and about and spending time with the family, but it's still limited. So what I want to get on today with a video is that I want to talk to you about mindfulness, which is something that was raised when I first made the phone call to Trigeminal Neuralgia UK, because I'm in the UK. One of the ladies kindly sort of guided me through some of the things to expect, and one of those things she said to me is, well, what now? And I didn't really know what she meant by that. I wasn't too sure what she meant by that. And she said, you're going to have to find new and different things to help you through this. And I know what she means by that now. Having been with this disease for about 9 months, I get it. It's recreating yourself and having a new lifestyle which is satisfying, which you're happy with, which allows for flare-ups if they happen, because they're going to happen. They're not going to go away unless you've had some sort of surgery which takes it away. It's not going to go away, so flare-ups are going to happen. And I think I've begun to realise that I need to kind of mould my life around having flare-ups, mould my life around having good days and bad days. So some of the things that I have found really helpful, I hope you will find helpful too. I've taken up some of my hobbies which I've done in the past. So I've always been into arty kind of stuff and being quite creative. So by doing happy planner decorating, which is a big thing in the USA, it's not in the UK, but by taking up that and being able to sit down and create, sometimes I do it for filming and I'll put it on my channel, but sometimes I just literally sit down and I get my planners out. So it's something like this. It's just giving you an idea really. It's something like this, and I will sit down and I'll create something which allows me to use my hands. So I've just done something like this today. It doesn't really matter what it is though, does it? It allows me to be creative, and I'm not having a bad day today, but if I was having a bad day, I'd probably be able to sit down and I'd be able to do that. No one's going to interrupt me, no one's going to tell me what it needs to look like. I'm using my hands, and by using my hands I feel like I'm distracting myself from the pain. So kind of anything that's mindfulness really. So colouring, I use stickers obviously. If you are good at drawing, if you like painting, even if you're not good at it, it doesn't matter. I think whether you're male or female, I think you need to find something that you enjoy to do with your hands. So obviously that could be low-level gardening, low-level DIY, but what I found is that even if I'm not in pain, I think the tablets will make me feel quite drowsy sometimes and a little bit foggy, and so even if I'm not in pain, I'll choose some mindfulness stuff to do because it takes me out of myself, because I think you can get quite down even when you're not in pain, and it takes me out of myself. It makes me feel good, it makes me feel relaxed. I think that's the thing, it makes me feel relaxed, and I think that being relaxed is one of the best things that can help you when you're in pain, and help the pain to almost not get any worse because you're more relaxed, and you're kind of like, you're either going with the pain or you're going with helping yourself to feel more positive. So I think anything mindfulness wise, and I'm not one of these people who's like heavily into mindfulness, okay, or I've never have been, but I do actually think that this is really helping me. So that's one of the things to say. And the other thing to say is my husband and I are retired, okay, so we are lucky in the sense that we can pick and choose a little bit what we do. That doesn't mean to say that we're not busy, because we're super busy, super busy. Well, he is, and I just like watch him run around being super busy because I can't do that. But another thing that I've just taken up as well is a little bit of writing. So I've always been into writing, and I'm starting to write a book, and sometimes I get a bit stressed because I can't think clearly, and I'm trying to get my sentence structure in and trying to think about what it is I'm trying to say, and I can't do it. And so that's when the more mindfulness, the easier tasks I come in to do. But then when I'm able to do a little bit more, then I'll go back to doing a bit of writing. And so I just encourage you really, what are the things that you've always been into? What are the things that you think you could maybe start, that you've always enjoyed, and maybe just put a little bit of money into it because it's going to make a big difference for you. So my life has changed beyond recognition. Like, although we were already retired, I would have been the person to be really getting into the kitchen and like doing big family meals and entertaining a lot. I know we've had COVID, but the person to be the entertaining person, the person to be looking out for everybody else, the person to be there for everybody else. I used to run groups at church, and before I even retired, I was running a business of 8 day nurseries. So I'm used to being that person to be on the go, and this has taught me that I cannot be that anymore. And one of the massive things that I've had to do is have acceptance of the fact that I have this disease, and I know that as part of the pathway for anybody with chronic illness is acceptance that I have trigeminal neuralgia. Life will not be the same, and therefore I need to create life and be positive about the pathway that I'm going to take. I need to be grateful for what I can do, not think about what I can't do. Okay, I can't feel like that every day. Some days I just want to cry, and I just want to, you know, cry out, why me, Lord? But you know, like, everybody has their crosses to bear, everybody has their burdens, and I just want to encourage you to find those things that make you feel happy. I hope that that helps you a little bit if you're just on the early pathway of trigeminal. Check out the rest of my videos, you'll see my full story, and I'm going to keep everybody updated, maybe 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and I'm going to let people know how I get on with that neurology appointment when it finally comes through, or if I get to see another professional, because I might actually have to wait much longer than what they've told me from neurology. I might have to go back to maxillofacial, who are the people who are now referring me to neurology. So guys, nice to meet you, and please subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you.